Hi everyone, my name is Luke. Don't be surprised that I'm talking to you wearing a mask. I'm the one who wants to show you what I committed the crime in. What does my mask mean? Have you ever heard of yin and yang? It's more like Chinese philosophy, the association of the opposite. It seemed to me that my mask fit the crime perfectly. Because what I did was bad. On the other hand, it was good. Don't worry, you'll see my face in the story, and you'll also understand why the illegal act turned out to be the white side of the mask. You ready? Comment down below so I can see how many of you are with me. I grew up in a poor neighborhood in a rich country. All I saw growing up was hunger and poverty. I had a wonderful sister. She worked too. Didn't go to school. Vanessa, that was her name. Always wanted to go to the sea. She imagined walking on the hot sand barefoot, enjoying life, and time would stop. We'd forget about the problems at least for one day. My sister died of the common flu because we had no money to take her to the hospital. No money for drugs or medicine, and not even a thermometer to measure the temperature. My mom almost went crazy with grief, and my father left the family immediately after the tragedy. Yeah, those were tough times. I was around 6 years old at the time, but I clearly remember the day of the funeral. My mother's crying. We had Vanessa cremated. After a few years, the pain subsided by little. My mother worked several jobs. I only went to school until middle school, and then I quit, found a part-time job, and tried to earn money. Unlike wealthy families, I had no time for fun, dreams, or college, or prestigious jobs. My mom used to say, that luxury is not for people like us. So I got a job at a coffee shop as a waiter, and after closing time, a janitor. That night, some guys I didn't know came to me. I was already closing the cafe, and they surrounded me with a request to help me hide them from the cops. I was confused, but one of them was wounded. I let them in on the inside and turned out the lights. The police car drove by. They thanked me. From the conversation, I learned that they were thieves. But they were the Robin Hood type, stealing from the poor and giving to the rich. Are you saying that it's actually steal from the rich and give to the poor? No, I said like in Robin Hood. We steal from the poor because they can't do anything against you. And they can't even go to the police if them don't have any freaking documents. And the rich we sell the goods to, we bought with the poor's money. Sure, you have to steal for a week to save up for what you need. But anything is better than nothing, right, brother? I ain't your brother. Cops are gone. Get out. Whoa, what are you doing? You think we're assholes, huh? But you live here. You're a waiter. You mop the floors. Aren't you sick of this life? I'm sick of it, but that's no reason to piss in the environment you live in. How can you take the last of your kind? You know what it's like to have nothing to eat and pay the bills? Chill out, our conscience gnawed at us too. But if you want to live, you have to twist the system a little. I understand you're angry now, but I want to offer you to work with us. People can't hurt us. And you're young and strong looking and need the money. Think about what I said. You can be with us and raise real dough, not this mopping stuff. When we save up, we plan to get out of this neighborhood and build another life. You in? Get lost. If you change your mind, you know where to find me. I got home in a bad mood. Already regretted helping the guy. I only hoped for one thing, that he wouldn't come to our house. Otherwise, I wouldn't be responsible for myself. Because when I got home, there was something worse than those in Robin Hood's waiting for me. Mom was lying on the floor unconscious. I was confused, trying to revive her, but she wouldn't open her eyes. Her pulse was racing, her pupils were responding to the light, but she wouldn't wake up. I called an ambulance. They came in and said that she was in a coma. That meant she had to go to the hospital. Because I didn't have health insurance, the bill was huge, but I agreed to pay. Do whatever it takes, I'll get the money, I yelled. And she was hospitalized. I stayed up all night wondering what to do. Called my father, but he only sighed into the phone. I can't help you, son, but call me if you need me, he said, and I threw the phone against the wall. The handset almost hit the vase and held my sister's ashes after the cremation, and there was a photo next to it, and it fell into the frame and shattered. I picked up Vanessa's photo and wept bitterly. I can't do otherwise. I'm sorry, sister. I'm so sorry, but I have no other way, I said in tears and pressed the photo to my chest. I stayed up all night and came to the point of those Robin Hoods at dawn. Whoa, look at what the cat dragged in. What do you want me to do? And thank you, I feel better already. What should I do? And you don't waste my time. Let's go get some breakfast and I'll tell you everything. The task was simple. We steal from poor people in daytime Everyone has a cheap mask with a picture of a monkey, a dog, or a turtle or something. During the day, everyone's at work. We easily break into the doors, smash windows, and take everything we see, from dishes to clothes. Then we shove the stolen goods, save the dough, and buy the goods from the dealer from the rich. In our case, the regular consumer was Mr. Dave. He's a local businessman, a very powerful guy. I never thought he was using illegal stuff. Are you kidding? They all do it or worse. And where else are they going to put all their money? And that Dave guy, is he so addicted that he buys a lot? Not only him, but also his daughter. Her name is Bianca. Dad doesn't know what we also work for her, but she's not greedy. Always adds on top of 100. And if the mood, $300. We give her the silence and the goods, and she gives us the tips. All profits split 5 ways with you, okay? I was disgusted with myself, with the mask and everything I was doing. But my mom, she felt bad. You can't imagine what it's like to see her lying there breathing through the machine. I wasn't ready to lose her. After a week, we saved up some money with the guys. I had to quit the cafe. I was assigned to bring the goods to Bianca, and the guys went to her father's place of work. Bianca was our age, a rich and silly girl. She was a little out of it, and I noticed she was a little stoned. The girl took the bag, gave the money, and asked, "Are you new or something?" "Yeah." "You're pretty cute, not like Brad. Here's a tip." She held out $500. I silently hid it in my pocket. I was just about to leave the yard when she called out, "Hey Luke, how do I look?" "You look fine." It's a stupid fundraiser at my dad's house today. I'm so sick of this. I have to go out and smile at everyone so rich people will leave checks for charity. Would they know all those funds go into Dad's pocket under the guise of treating kids with cancer? Hilarious. I walked out in silence, shaking with anger. First, I went to the hospital and left $500 to the doctors there. I needed to find another 4,000. When I got back to the guys, I put the rest of the money on the table. The proceeds were divided equally. Brad was pleased with me. The guys went home, and we stayed to chat. I asked him if he wanted to start something bigger. He got interested, and so I told him about Mr. Dave's charity. Brad was surprised. He didn't know a businessman embezzled other people's money, so he refused, saying it was too dangerous. I went home and changed into a waiter's uniform. There certainly are the receptions like this. Before I went out, I grabbed Sister Yin Yang's mask. She liked to wear it and to hum something under her breath. I quickly blended it with the crowd and waiters, expertly doing my job, while simultaneously watching the guests and Mr. Dave. Everything was going well. Mr. Dave collected the money, some gave in cash, some checks, and hid it in a suitcase. Bianca had to take it into the house. At the end of the evening, when everyone had relaxed, I followed Bianca into the house. At the sight of me, she was excited. She didn't even understand why I was dressed like a waiter. I smiled, said that I'd see her off, put her to bed, then ask about my father's plan. She was still out of it and detailed the whole scheme, then suddenly asked who I was. At this point, I put on my mask, told her I was a dream, and she passed out. I changed my clothes and jumped out the window with my suitcase. At home, I counted almost $2 million. I bought the money to the hospital in installments so that they wouldn't get suspicious. I also cashed in checks. By that time, my mom had come to her senses. The doctors rustled a couple of thousand when they got a couple of thousand on top. Brad came to me and asked why I was missing for 2 weeks. Then I told him everything I had done. He scolded me, said that it was too dangerous, and I hauled him in a chair and said that if he would need help, we would cut down on some more. He talked me out of it, and then showed me my trump card, or our safety net. Sure, but would it work? Sure, I've already found the right people, paid them, and they're ready, just waiting for me to blow the whistle. So what do? We went with him to Bianca's wife, and her dad was at work. I came in wearing a mask, so did Brad. Bianca was out of it again. It seemed to me her usual state. With the passwords and access to Daddy's online fund of her, took $4 million out of her account while she was asleep. It all happened because Brad was a good programmer. You look dumb. BS. Pretending. No trust in the smart ones. Within an hour, we had the money. We had a few hours left, by which time we had hired a helicopter through dealers we knew. I picked up my mom, the money, put her down, and sent her and Brad away from our own town. I stayed at my place by myself. As I planned, they found me out fast. I was just lucky that the money from the evening Mr. Dave didn't immediately went to withdraw it. What he didn't notice was the cashing out of the fund accounts right away. He burst into my house. and I was already sitting there waiting for him in my mask, smartphone at hand. "Who are you, sucker? How dare you take money from me? Do you think I wouldn't find out? You still got the nerve to do it in my freaking house. I knew you'd be fine. Who do you work for? Do you even know that I can destroy you?" "I do. I also know you won't do it. Are you making fun of me? I should just push one button and the whole country will see what you really do. How you rob children with cancer, how you buy drugs, and how your daughter's a drug addict. Everything has been in the right place for a long time. Copies of Bianca's video and the audio confession have long been distributed, as have photos of documents. Take another step and everything will be published in all sorts of platforms, including media. You have no idea how the journalists are going to wait for this moment. Aren't you afraid of dying, you little puppy? Even if I die, I have time to push the button, and if I go down, I'll drag you with me." He stood red with anger, almost painting, and then kicked the guards out, sat down on the couch, and I asked what I wanted. "I'm taking all the money from the fund. I'll take what I need from it, and the rest will go as an anonymous donation to children with cancer. You won't follow me or drag you down with me. Your choice. Would you rather pay me a few mil or lose everything, including Bianca? Drugs are crying out for her." "Don't you dare." "All right, puppy, consider it my donation. But if you cross the line, I'll wipe you out." "You won't, and I don't shake hands." He left the house, and my heart was ready to jump out of my chest. I flew out in a helicopter, and in a few hours, I was where my mother and Brad was waiting for me. I had a long talk with my mom. Brad was busy moving his family, and also our guys with their families. We almost immediately bought a house with Mom, not far from the Caribbean. After a couple of days, my mom and I went there for a walk, and I took my sister's ashes with me and scattered them, just like you wanted, Vanessa. If you liked the video, then please comment down below and leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel.